Simple Session Skateboard Finals. 2015 champion, Frenchman Robin Bollian. 2016 champion, Frenchman Aurélien Giraud. 2017 champion, Frenchman Aurélien Giraud. 2018, new year, new skaters, and an opportunity for the rest of the world to step up.
Ready. Hello and welcome to the ancient city of Tallinn in Estonia. The country this year celebrates its 100th anniversary of independence. But throughout history, this has been known as a crossroads or a meeting point for people from Eastern Europe, Western Europe and Scandinavia, where they've shared ideas and cultures. And inside the Saku Arena for Simple Session, it's no different. We've had BMXers and skateboarders from 25 different nations assemble here for the qualification over the course of the weekend. We're kicking off today on Sunday with skateboard finals, and I'm very pleased to say helping me make sense of the competition is one of the most considered and passionate voices in skateboarding, Chris Pastras.
Thank you, Ed. So stoked to be back here for Simple Session 2018. We've got the biggest Simple Session course we've ever seen, and more importantly, we've got the biggest lineup of huge pro names this year.
It is a mouth-watering prospect, and Skateboard Finals is coming up in just over 10 minutes. We're also going to take a look at Zion Wright and Jamie Foy's journey to Estonia this year. Two of the biggest names in skateboarding have made it here for finals. And we're going to be taking a look at the course with the GoPro first look, and we've got Ivan Federico and Alex Sorgenti taking care of that. Now, if you're wondering where Estonia is, take a look at this satellite image and we'll zoom you in. You can come down onto Northern Europe and you've got the Baltic Sea. Tucked away in the southeast corner there, you've got the city of Tallinn, and a stone's throw from the coast is the Saku Arena, and that is where Simple Session goes down. Now, taking a look at this competition, Chris, what makes it so special?
Well, it's the first big international contest of the year, so this thing sets the tone. You got guys like Pedro Barrows setting their season up for Vans Park Series. This is a park terrain contest, so the final's going to go off. These guys are into it, they're heated, they're ready.
And every year, Simple Session seems to evolve, doesn't it? It gets pushed forward, not just the level of riding, but also the course.
Yeah, and skateboarding is kind of changing and morphing with Simple Session, because we used to just have vert and street disciplines, and we've seen the emergence of the park terrain, and that's what Simple Session leads into, park terrain skating.
Okay, and we're going to be seeing a lot of that today, but two of the biggest names in the game who've been drawn here to Estonia to sample this course are Zion Wright and Jamie Foy. It's their first time in Eastern Europe, so we caught up with them as they made their way over the Atlantic.
I came from Deerfield Beach, Florida. I mean, we both moved to Long Beach, and that was like where we first started like our shit in California. But now, yeah, we more stable and better area. And
everyone's like in this area.
Easier to link up, private parks that we could just go skate wherever, and they're only like 10, 15 minutes away. Like the idea of a contest where they have both street and transition is like sick as hell, because a lot of us, like me and Zion, like we love to skate everything. Like that's what we grew up skating, is like whatever's at the park. A bowl, a rail, a ledge, whatever was there.
Estonia is near like Sweden and Finland, like at the bottom.
I just know that it's cold.
It's
it's gonna be cold for sure. It's snowing, I think, right? It's different, it's real different. Like, you got pretty much everything in like one area. Like big transition, big rails, just like, it's gonna for sure be like something different to see. Like everyone like stepping out their comfort zone to like hit other stuff and like, you know, just feel it out.
I'm headed to Estonia, son.
Oh shit.
Headed to Estonia for simple sessions, baby.
I'm just hyped to go out there and just have fun with the homies and skate that crazy course because it's like a BMX course. Can't wait to get there and actually see what it's like in person.
Hello, Jamie Foy. Awesome, thank you. How are you? Chilling. Oh yeah. You've already seen this, huh? I've seen it, bro. It's crazy. $30 foot. 30 foot? Nah, I'm just saying.
You know, once you get in an environment like that, you know, you just push yourself way harder than you just normally would.
Yeah, I'm hyped to skate against the homies. I mean, friendly competition, that's always the best.
It's lovely, especially as a European, when you see huge name skaters like that who get built up in the States and globally. They come over, and that wasn't an illusion. Those guys are so humble and down to earth.
Yeah, it's part of your job as a pro skateboarder is to interact with other skaters and the fans, and those guys do a great job of that. Super humble, super cool kids.
Well, I can confirm that both Jamie and Zion have made it through to the finals. One man who hasn't, though, and it was a big shock in qualifiers, is defending champion, the Frenchman Aurélien Giraud.
Yeah, two-time champ Aurélien Giraud. He struggled with this year's course, which definitely leaned more big transition. Aurélien, he shines in street, and he just didn't have what it takes against these park veterans like a Pedro Barrows.
This shot tells us everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know, talk about somebody with park experience and street experience. Mr. Jagger Eaton unknowingly skated behind Aurélien and did his trick switch stance there on the frontside feeble.
And then Zion Wright, like we've seen a lot of the video parts that he's put out being street, but then he destroyed it in transition.
He's got the full package, all-terrain vehicle, can rip transition, rails. There you see the fly out to Smith. Zion's got what it takes and can skate anything.
For me, this kid, Alex Midler, he kind of flew under the radar, but still so strong.
Well, there you see that that backside lip slide pop over and the frontside crooked grind. Alex skated a little slower, a little more control, but he did some of the most difficult tricks we saw.
And then at the other end of the spectrum, there's the absolute concrete crush.
The monster.
Oh my goodness, Pedro Barrows out of control on this course.
Yeah, I don't even think we've seen Pedro kick it into high gear. He's someone that shines. The brighter the lights, the bigger the pressure, the bigger the stage, the bigger Pedro goes. He's going to turn it up for finals. Expect huge things.
Well, the Soccer Arena is starting to fill up. The atmosphere is building, so I think Pedro is going to come to the boil very, very nicely for skate finals. We've met the riders, now it's time to meet the course. Chris took Ivan Federico and Alex Sorgente down there on Thursday evening.
Estonia, baby, we out here.
So Alex, this is one of the biggest contest courses we've ever seen. I know you like to go big. I'm gonna have you take us through your favorite obstacles here.
Yeah, the whole park is insane, man. Definitely gotta say that big blue taco behind me is probably one of my favorites. You can just go super fast and try to do tricks over it. Frontside Smith grinds, maybe try to do a front feeble or nose grind over it would be pretty cool. And you can also do gap up tricks from the little sushi plate, gap back in, so it's a pretty sick obstacle.
So Ivan, coming off the jump box, we've got this massive quarter pipe. Take us through what you got for this thing.
I wanna do over there a big air because I love that quarter pipe because you come to the jump box so you can come so much speed and you can do a big rotation, hand plant, and tomorrow I wanna try to do a kickflip body jar.
The Ivan Federico signature move.
Yeah, for sure,
buddy.
bro.
The course looks lovely, but no Sorgente.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, Alex is coming off a surf injury. He was able to do the GoPro course preview, but he wasn't ready to skate in qualifying, so we hope you get better, Alex.
Well, we've met the riders and we've met the course. The third piece of the puzzle are the judges. And our course side reporter, Yuli Yevsigneyev, is down with one now.
hour is near.
So I'm here with Dan Cates, who's one of the pillars of UK skateboarding. Dan, you have one of the hardest jobs today. You need to judge the guys, you need to pick the winner. With a course of so much variety, how will you pull that off?
We look for, there's 4 categories, so use of the course, consistency, technicality, difficulty of tricks, and style. So, but with a course like this, where it's almost a tale of 2 cities. So you've got like the larger stuff on the far side is very BMX orientated, bigger stuff, and then the smaller stuff with all the rails, more technical skateboarding and stuff. So it's somebody who's going to win it is really going to have to use everything.
So is there a certain section of the course we should really keep an eye on, like anything really interesting?
There's a few interesting things, like the big, just over there, the kind of rainbow. Yeah. That's a hard one to hit.
Okay.
So anything over that is really good. That quarter pipe in the corner, where it's got like a sheer drop. So anything on that has been really gnarly.
Well, thank you so much, Dan. We're going to have a very exciting competition ahead.
I'm sure.
Thank you very much, Yuli, and thank you, Dan. One of the most unique characters British skating has ever produced, I think. And plenty for all of us to mull over in terms of judging, but it's an overall impression. That's what it comes down to. You've got to use everything, you've got to be stylish, and in this size, of course, you've got to be quick.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think the key thing is to not take too much time getting across the course. We saw some guys skate across the entire course just to set up for a frontside air or a grind trick. You got to be bang, bang, bang. Guys like Zion and Jagger, there is no dead space.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot. Knowing
Jagger's.
everything you know now, who would be your pick for top 3?
I'm going 3rd place, Pedro Barrows, just for the big factor, the wow factor, the heat of the moment, going big. Jagger Eaton, I'm going 2nd for the difficult tricks. And Zion Wright, I'm going 1st for the contest killer experience.
Okay, that's what he thinks. You can join in using the hashtag #SimpleSession. We're going to start the contest now after this short break. Welcome back. You are looking over the course in all of its resplendent glory. The grandstands are starting to fill up here at the Saco Arena. This is Simple Session Skate Finals 2018. Format's pretty simple. 12 men will run in reverse order of qualification. Best run will count. They have 2 runs in which to lay it down. Chris, we listened in on the judges' meeting. Chris Pastor sat next to me. We'll do line up first. Vincent Milu, the Frenchman. Reva Fleming, the Woodward special. Benjamin Garcia out of Bordeaux. Ivan Federico, the Italian. Danny Leon, a lot of pedigree here at Simple Session. Then Thrasher, Skater of the Year, will drop 6th. Jamie Foy. Then we've got Chris Russell. You talked about him earlier, Chris.
The muscle.
Oh my goodness, he's
Such
got
a
some
park
power.
killer.
Pedro Barrows coasted through qualifying, came through in 5th place. Then Chase Webb, Zion Wright, Alex Midler, and first place qualifier, one of the youngest out there, Jagger Eaton. So a packed lineup, no shortage of American talent either, Chris.
Not at all. And, you know, we ended there on Jagger Eaton. Jagger emerged on the scene mostly as a mega ramp skater, as a very young competitor. Was more of a vert guy, definitely had the transition skills, but lately we've just been seeing him destroy street. He actually won Tampa Am recently, so Jagger proving he can lay it down on both big trannies and street. It's awesome.
Okay, we're going to kick off with Vincent Milu of France. He's from Tarnos down in the Aquitaine district, which is in between Biarritz and Osgore, so it's a surf town, but for me, I fell in love with this guy's style back in 2016. He has this really relaxed but clinical, crisp style. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah, we've seen Vincent's skating really mature here at Simple Session. Like you said, he's competed previously, got 4th place last year, and really super, super gnarly skater, really difficult tricks. Stoked to see him out here, 2018. Nice backside air set up there into the 1 foot. He's been skating with my boy Willie Santos out in San Diego from Birdhouse Skateboards fame. Doing it in the States. Wow, that was a hard fall. Glad to see him get up from that. And skated Tampa Am this year, got 7th. So Vincent's got what it takes. Good style on that kickflip. Just perfect frontside flip.
Oh, and he just missed a couple of his stock tricks. Like, he's been landing those through practice and qualifiers. The back 3 over the box and then the front 3 down out of that sushi bowl.
Yeah, I don't think we saw him miss one of those frontside 360s. Hopefully he's okay from that fall and can put it together. It's best run counts, let's remember. So
yeah,
he can still put it all together.
Okay, so Vincent Milu will put the first run down to experience, just 21. Now we're going to the other end of the spectrum. Nitro Circus and Woodward have brought this guy to the fore. Reva Fleming, he is a showman in the extreme. Check out those pants.
Yeah, just pure crowd pleaser. The Beav, you know, does the Nitro Circus events and knows how to really interact with fans. He's got a super inspirational YouTube page, actually.
Well, he's got a smile for everyone. There's no politics, there's no agenda.
No, he's a sweet guy, man. He's all about hyping up the crowd, hyping up the fans, and sharing the stoke of skateboarding. I back the Beav.
Okay, so a couple of replays of Vincent Milu there, but fundamentally, Milu's got to give himself a little bit of a chat. Difficult position for him now because he's got 12 minutes of watching everyone else throw down before he gets another bite of the cherry.
Yeah, you know, Vincent's really just got to shake that one off and pretend it never happened. Hopefully, you know, the slam didn't mess him up and just start fresh. We've seen Vincent Milu put it together. He got 4th last year, so he knows what it takes.
Okay, so Reva out of Knoxville. He's paid his dues on Nitro Circus. He knows what he's up to.
Yeah, there he is playing to the crowd. The Beav's definitely got his own unique style. It's kind of a skateboarding no-no to interact with the crowd and kind of self-hype yourself, but it works for Beav. I back it.
Okay. Nice little crossbone floating across the Twinkies there, as you called them, Chris.
Yeah, and there's the kickflip grab into the judo. We saw him miss that kickflip grab in qualifying and still throw it under his feet. The Beav is fearless. Nice kickflip fakie into the half cab.
Well, it's been a dirty word in skateboarding, but it does bring in that kind of gymnastic or even acrobatic element, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Beaver's someone who practically lived at Woodward Camp in Pennsylvania. And, you know, you can see it in his skateboarding. He's definitely got that kind of, I learned it in the foam pit, and I brought it to the big transitions kind of vibe. Not knocking it, though. I love the Beav. How many people can backflip a huge, you know, bank ramp, you know what I mean? He's gnarly.
Exactly, that's the thing. You can say what you like about the style, about his attitude, but when it comes to tricks, he delivers in some style.
No. Yeah, there we go. Look at that backflip front. Is that backflipping the volcano?
Yeah.
That's not even possible.
Well, it's not actually.
Super tiny transition. It's practically a bank. Crazy.
Okay, so a couple of falls there for Beaver. He started off really, really strong. First 30 seconds of this run were really powerful.
Nice, huge judo. Yeah, you know, I noticed that Beaver really shines in the jam because he interacts with the crowd. So it'll be interesting to see if he can bring that stoke to a run format.
So we got score there, Vincent Milu, 42.66. I think Beaver will pull in above him, but still, these aren't going to be the best scores or the scores we see in top 5, I think, by the time we've seen the first run of all 12 finalists. It's an interesting point, though, you bring up, Chris, because you've got that real difference between that qualifying format where you've got 4 dudes jamming all at the same time. Suddenly, it's all on you, the pressure's on one run. It's not that overall impression of whatever you can throw down in 4 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a completely different animal. And, you know, like I mentioned with Beaver, he likes to interact with the crowd and kind of play off the energy, and it's a little more focused in the run format.
So, just having a bit of contest experience, knowing how to measure yourself, keep yourself ready and warm is one of the big parts of this. You got big guys like Jagger Eaton and Chase Webb up at the top of the drawer who've just got to sit there itching on this, like contain that.
And stay warm. That's a difficult thing. I mean, you ended practice and now you got to watch, you know, a bunch of runs and keep those legs warm.
So Benjamin Garcia out of Bordeaux.
Yeah, Benjamin skated great in qualifying.
He's got that lovely, relaxed French style.
Yeah, a lot of Frenchmen out here. We got Vincent Milu, we had Aurélien Giraud, Benjamin Garcia, Frenchman out in full force at Simple Session 2018.
Adrien
Great to see.
Pollard, let's not forget about him.
Oh, yeah.
Frenchness of
One of my
name is only
favorites.
about 7, but Frenchness of look, he's got that Jean-Paul Sartre quiff, and then he's got those amazing glasses.
Okay. Nice back D up there on the big quarter. And then the fakey nose blunt.
Just killing a bit of speed there, and it's what we were talking about. It was the flow he had in qualifying that put him through above his fellow countryman Aurélien Giraud, the defending champion. Lovely front blunt. But
Yeah, Benjamin was able to stay on his board throughout much of the jam, but a lot more pressure in the run format. Like you mentioned, it's a totally different animal.
All eyes on you. You've got to make it count here.
Going for that cab back lip, pulls it.
Hard
Fakey.
way 270 in. That is so difficult.
Oh, almost. Oh, contest make. 360 flip lip slide there.
This is quite literally turning into a warm-up for Benjamin Garcia. The level, the bar he set for himself in qualifying.
It's like
We've got toys out the pram there by the looks of it.
you got to give those guys a heads up before the run. That's what you do. That's lack of contest experience.
Not happy about that one at all.
Yeah, you got to tell somebody, hey, I'm coming through here throughout my run. Clear the deck before you go.
I think, in fairness, I saw that attitude from him in practice as well, and he was quick on the draw when it came to blaming someone else. And I think he's under pressure there, and he was looking for an excuse after that run.
I'll back that. Yeah, hopefully just getting the legs warm. He can throw out that first run score. So far, we see 3 guys that stayed on throughout much of the jam, but having some falls and struggling a bit in finals with the totally different format of having to stay on your board for a minute solid. We heard our judges say you can't really have more than 1 fall and make it through, to the top 5. So falls are crucial in a 1-minute run.
And that's it, isn't it? They want to incentivize progression over consistency, so you've got to be allowed to have those falls there so you can really push. But at what point does it break up the run too much? So 1 fall, maybe 2, definitely not. So Ivan Federico, you spent Thursday evening on this course with him. He looks very, very comfortable, doesn't he?
Yeah, we've seen Ivan emerge with the Vans Park Series. There you see him shredding in Australia, and here he is at Hastings Bowl, where he placed first in 2016, bust onto the scene. This is some footage from last year. And he has Hastings stop.
The most lovely, lanky, fluid style. Transition destroyer.
Yeah, he started out as a vert kid from Italy, and then just kind of changed up his style to fit the park terrain as Vans Park Series emerged. And like I said, bust out of the scene in Vancouver with a first placing in 2016. He's been skating great out here at Simple Session. The course really plays to his strengths. Super fluid, flies high. Oh, not quite hanging on the 360 judo.
Just give that
plenty of time, though,
as well, didn't he? You compare that to Beaver's kind of straight leg backside judo over the hip, and he just gave that a lovely little taste.
Yeah, Ivan's got the flair, man. He's got great style, really fluid, skates fast, goes big.
I was talking to Dave Duncan earlier in the week, and he said he saw this kid skate in Italy back when he was just 10 years old, and he said he saw it then. He saw the essence of a great skate.
Yeah, he was a padded up vert ripper, and then bust onto the scene with Vans Park Series. 2016, he took first in Vancouver, second in Brazil, and third in Malmo at the World Championships. Struggled a little bit last year as progression happened so quick with the Vans Park Series, but still skating great.
So consistency so far has been the bugbear for our first 4 skaters. 12 finalists today. If you're just joining us, welcome to the Simple Session Finals 2018. 12 skaters, 2 runs. The best score will count. We have some of the biggest names in the game here. They're running in reverse order from qualifying. We've already seen Vincent Milu and Benjamin Garcia from France, Reva Fleming from Knoxville, and then Ivan Federico was the last skater out there. Still to come, Danny Leon, Jamie Foy, Thrasher Skater of the Year 2017, Chris Russell, Pedro Barrows, Chase Webb, Zion Wright, Alex Midler, and Jagger Eaton. The lineup is absolutely insane. So keep it locked here. The Saku Hall in Estonia. Danny Leon, one of the nicest guys in skateboarding.
Yeah, super sweet guy coming out of Spain. Always rooting for Danny.
The goofy footer grew up in the Mostoles skate park in Madrid. He's making his way over. He's got a really distinctive stance on the board, hasn't he?
Yeah, kind of a wide stance. Most transition skaters, it's more street skaters that have the tight stance, and the bigger the transition, the kind of wider sometimes your feet tend to go there. Nice front blunt. Got 4th last year here at Simple Session into that 1 foot.
Oh.
Wow, huge method tweaker there.
Smashing
the
that
stale
one out.
fish. And yeah, we saw Danny really shine the last few years at Simple Session, but the competition has heated up this year with a lot of the international pros and the U.S. pros coming out. Wow. But I'm rooting for him.
Interesting, he's really setting about the rail section at the moment, and we've already seen that he's got the kickers for that big box, but he's just giving the rail section its dues before he moves back into the tranny.
You got to really hit everything. We mentioned it earlier. You can't have any dead space in your runs, and so far, so good for Danny Leon. Oh, the kickflip grab. It got off to a wonky start, but he made it work.
Yeah, where did he find that?
Lean air, 1 foot there in the 50-50 transfer. Perfect run. Don't kick your board away too soon, buddy. That's the first perfect run we've seen there.
Okay, so Danny Leon is actually going to sit in a really commanding position. I love the way he set up his back foot for that.
Yeah.
Made sure it was in the right position for that front side re-entry.
Yeah, you and I chatted about Danny Leon skateboarding, and we were a little concerned that he might not have the street skill set, but he must have been training, because this year he's all about the rails, had some good tricks there. We saw that nose grind. There's the finger flip.
And the temptation's always to leave those onto tail, isn't it? But he brought that in really nicely.
Yeah.
Really clean. Okay,
Great run from Danny.
We've seen a couple of scores scratching around the high 50s where they've had a couple of falls. So it'll be interesting to see what a really clean run does for him.
Yeah, that's 5 runs down now, so we'll see. It'll be interesting to see. A lot of big-name contest skaters still to come. Jagger Eaton, Alex Midler, Zion Wright. Those guys have so much contest experience.
Interesting, Danny went straight down to Thule, our courtside reporter, and smashed a Red Bull offer.
Knows how to keep his sponsors happy.
Okay, let's see. Score in, 82.66. Very
a strong
big
score. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, it was put out there that anything above 80 would probably be the threshold for finals. That was back in qualifying, so an 82, good rangefinder. Slight. I mean, most time you see
it's not a winning run. I mean, we've seen scores in the 90s, or low 90s. So, but it's definitely a strong score. That was a great run,
and it gives him the freedom to really go and attack run 2 now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Danny Leon is down next. We move into one of the guys who we filled a lot of airtime with in the pre-show, Jamie Foy. Chris, this guy's had the dream 2017.
Oh, man, Jamie Foy. No one deserves it more. He has worked so hard. The last, I'd say, 2 years, he's just really bust onto the scene, put out countless video parts. Just won Thrasher Skater of the Year for 2017. Put out an amazing video part for Ty Evans' Flat Earth. Here you see some diamond skate park footage of Jamie. These are just warm-up tricks, man. You got to see this guy really throw down.
This is just them brushing out the jet lag cobwebs, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. These are like warm-up tricks for Jamie. If you see his video part for the Flat Earth, it's just mind-blowing, the level.
What I've been surprised by, I mean, I knew he's a big lad, a big unit, but he is a powerhouse, isn't he? He's just a ball of muscle.
Yeah, they call him Big Boy Foy. He can take those falls, man.
Well, he's got
falls hard, but he's hard as a rock, man. He can take some spills. Fearless, this dude.
Okay, straight into the rails.
Massive cess slide there. Jamie proving that he's got some transition here at simple session. There you see that fluid backside Smith grind on the taco into the backside air. Whew, the front side air, yeah, getting a little speed wobbles, but making it work. Nice 1 foot.
Well, he's been chasing Zion and Pedro around here in practice. Now he's going to come back into the rails, maybe slow it down a bit.
Nice front side feeble grind into the crooked grind to fakie. Really, really great run so far.
And what's interesting, we didn't see anyone doubling up the rails, hitting 2 in a row like that. Oh!
His signature trick there, frontside crooked grind, taking it to fakie. Not quite hanging on. Yeah, he's just coming off a Skater of the Year trip in Australia. Roommates with Zion Wright and Alex Sorgente in LA.
So the rail chomper. Oh! Just messing around. He's about 15 seconds after time now, so they won't count, but only 1 fall and some really, I mean, the way he packed the tricks into that.
Off to a great start.
Completely.
Nice frontside air.
Maybe not, I was about to say completely different run to Danny Leon, but it's not. It actually isn't. They both worked a lot of transition and then did a lot of rail work and then went back to the trannies.
Yeah, definitely. Solid mix of tricks. You see that crooked grind, getting the pinch, taking it to fakie. Great job. And think about how stoked the Estonian fans are to see Thrasher's 2017 Skater of the Year here in Estonia.
It's a sign.
Huge.
It's massive. And then sat right next to him, Zion Wright. Like, both of these guys, well, Zion just picked up on Real as pro. It's such a heavy-hitting lineup. It's difficult to actually tell everyone how big this is, isn't it? I mean, you've got Pedro Barrows here up against Sotti in Jamie Foy. Like, it's a great way of contrasting two of the biggest skaters at the moment.
Yeah, you can feel the energy in this building, man. This year's contest is definitely a heated group of individuals. Speaking of the heat, the muscle.
Oh my goodness. Chris Russell, this guy he only has one setting and it seems to be kind of stratospheric turbo
Hang
style.
on to your seats, guys. You are in for a treat.
It's maybe not the savviest contest run in the sense that he's packing all of the tricks in on everything, but these are some of the biggest things you will see go down in skate final. He's just focused on the biggest moves where he wants to put them.
One of the gnarliest skateboarders on the scene. Been traveling the globe with him with Vans Park Series, and like you said, Chris has one speed.
Oh! 7 meters up there. That's how high the top of that vert wall is.
Whoa! Wow, throwing away that frontside air.
Oh, hip hop.
I've seen Chris take some of the hardest slams imaginable in Vans Park Series.
I don't care who you are.
Had a huge year in 2016. Started off by winning our Australia stop and then won Huntington Beach.
Chucked in that little fast palm there.
Yeah, nice sweeper to tail there. Massive air. Chris has enough contest experience to know you just shake off a slam, act like it never happened. Unfortunately, falling off again there.
Yeah, the hipper, that's always a difficult one to recover from. He's not showing it if it did get him, but a sledgehammer to the pelvis is never a pleasant sensation.
Yeah, that frontside air just got away from him in the worst way possible.
Frontside 5-0. Reva, very, very nice.
We got to talk about that almost frontside grind on the vert wall, though. That was insane.
That was ridiculous.
That's like 12 feet of straight vert.
It's yeah, you go up and stand next to it. It's probably about an 8 or 9 foot transition, isn't it? But there's, easily another quarter on top of that is vert. So it's 12 foot probably. Let's see if we can see that.
And there we see that backside tweaker. Yeah, you can kind of see the grimace in his skating there. Nice ollie, frontside pivot to fakie. But that was a rough slam. Hopefully he can recover for run number 2.
So Chris Russell and Pedro just hanging out up top there, no doubt comparing notes on Strava to see who was quickest. Chris Russell, 44.33. So it's all about the second run. I'm sure he's not actually... Oh, he looked a little bit ginger on his leg there as he took off from the railing. Certainly, if the body's hurting, the mind isn't showing it.
Yeah, somebody that thrives on huge, huge moments.
Okay.
Right there in Pedro.
We're going to hear from Pedro right now.
This piece of wood with 4 wheels being in my life, that's my biggest achievement. I'm really happy to be able to have this type of life where I can make it happen in competitions. I can go out and I can get on podiums. But in the end, it's really about skating, and this is really what I love doing it. It's not because of the money that's going in your account or the contest you're winning, it's just of the pure joy it brings.
So the kid from Florianopolis, Pedro Barrows, so powerful. He's been dominating concrete for the last 5 or 6 years. I think he's the best bowl skater in the world right now, it's fair to say.
That's a fair assessment. He's definitely one of the best, if not the best.
Certainly, when he's inspired
you saw his soul in that video piece there. Pedro's in it for the right reasons. He loves skateboarding. He loves Brazil. He loves his fans, and he's just really a soul skater, so to speak.
I like the fact that it's not about the paychecks.
Starting off with that blunt fakie on the massive wall. Ollie over the Twinkies into that big 360 Indy. High speeds from Pedro Barrows.
Just soaking up the speed out of that transition.
Oh! Wow.
Oh! That is a big gap. We didn't see that profile. You couldn't see, but it's over 1.5 meters he's got to hop back in there.
Yeah, you know, Pedro does that. He tries things that you don't see him try in practice and just surprises you. Always pushing the limits.
Well, looking at that run, just what we saw at the start there, you realize that he was Sunday driving through qualifiers.
Definitely. Yeah, Pedro always turns it on for finals. And he's got his dad, Andre, backing him back in Brazil at home. Andre's surfer, skater, really raised Pedro to love skateboarding for the right reasons. Oh, almost hanging on to that backside boneless.
Well, it's so hard to get the pop and keep your weight over the board to get into the transition.
Yeah, I think, you know, Pedro's been under a lot of pressure lately with Vans Park Series, and I feel like he's out here in Estonia just having fun for simple sessions, just expression session for him.
There was certainly a period 5 to 3 years ago when he was really dominating. His style of skateboarding was light years ahead, but it feels like everyone's kind of caught up to that now.
Yeah, in a sense. But Pedro's advanced with the progression of skateboarding. There you see that huge 360 Indy.
Padless, helmetless McTwists on concrete is all you need to say, I think, with Pedro. Doesn't mess around.
A pound from Jamie Foy there.
So Pedro Barrows, 45.33. Still only 2 skaters, really. I mean, Jamie Foy came off at the end of his run with the 76, but Danny Leon starting to look around him after 6 skaters down, thinking, you know what? That first run, a little bit of consistency paid off.
Yeah, you know, Danny did have a perfect run, but these next 4 guys are contest killers, so a lot of skateboarding left.
Well, this kid used to be a contest killer. He's gone video part for the last couple of years, but it's an absolute pleasure to see him come back and ride comps here at Simple Session. Chase Webb, 22, out of Murrieta in California.
Yeah, talk about contest experience. Chase Webb entered his first contest at age 6. He's now 22, so lots of contest experience for Chase. But like you said, he's been chomping gnarly video parts lately. Yeah, Chase put out an amazing video part from the Flat Earth, Ty Evans' new project. Some of the gnarliest kinked handrail grinds we've ever seen in skateboarding, seriously.
Starts off with a full lap of the park. That's use, of course, ticked off. Oh! First skater into that little bowl.
Wow, frontside 180 to fakie 50-50 the hard way. Chase off to a very strong start. He really knows how to mix it up with transition and difficult street tricks. Oh, not hanging on the big spin front board. That's a Chase Webb standard right there. 15 seconds left. Nice nose grind. Perfect front feeble.
Cranking back.
Oh, I know he was going for that 50-50 pop out to something on that second rail.
I was looking for the transfer back across. I thought he was going to use that little kink on the end there just to pop out 180, but...
Yeah, those guys have been popping from one rail to the other, which is crazy. I'm sure we'll see that somewhere in the rest of the contest. There you see Chase, nice frontside tweaker there. Into a perfect feeble grind, popping out early.
Beautiful in here, and the 180 out.
So much speed and control. And yeah, we mentioned it earlier, Chase has really been focused on video parts lately, so maybe that's showing a little bit here at Simple Session 2018.
Yeah, certainly lend himself a little more to the technical stuff there than the transitions. So Jamie Foy,
he's been in the streets.
Yeah.
Chomping gnarly kinked handrails.
But the consistency was there, 73.66. So good enough for third place, just behind Jamie Foy and Danny Leon.
Yeah, and to think, with all those falls, if he's still in, what is he, in third place? Imagine what he can do with a perfect run.
So next up, Zion Wright. This kid is the real deal. I mean, he's been absolutely destroying. He made his mark early on with those enormous stair drops. Like, he was dropping sets, like, it was ridiculous, sort of 4 or 5 times overhead for how big he was at the time. But he came in here, and it was the first thing I noticed about him on Thursday. He was skating transition. He was skating it fast.
Oh, yeah. Zion's been ripping transitions lately. Skated a couple Vans Park Series events, skated in Huntington Beach, and just, it's nice to see, man. He's got the flow, linking everything together.
Celebrated his 19th birthday yesterday, so a win here would undoubtedly seal that anniversary. First time in Estonia. He's just pounded all of the guys there.
Yeah, Zion won Phoenix Am 2016, so he's got what it takes.
Oh! What?
I thought he was gonna fall at first.
Get out of town.
Into the backside air, hanging on. You talked about Zion surprising everyone with his transition skills, and here we see it at work. Huge alley-oop frontside nose bone there, and then able to slow it down a bit.
Lovely overcrook.
Just rare fall, but making it look like it's not a fall into the 270 lip slide there.
He's so compact, isn't he?
Yeah, and he packs so many tricks in. He just boom, boom, boom. Just turned pro for real skateboards. So stoked for Zion. Been putting in so much work. Fellow Floridian, roommates with his other Floridian, Jamie Foy. These guys really feed off each other.
Oh, there it was, fitty to front board transfer. And I think we saw that front blunt to front board in qualifying, didn't we? So he might be building to that. Oh!
Going for the nose grind popover. Just had a birthday yesterday, Zion Wright.
So, well, yeah, that's a taster menu, isn't it, of what he's capable of?
This was insane, taking that back foot off way high up on that massive vert wall. Into the alley-oop nose bone.
Just silly, isn't it? That much control under that much consequence.
The 270 lip with speed. Yeah, Zion's got the total package. Skates fast, does technical rail tricks, goes big on transition. He's really the total simple session package right there.
How did he do that 50-50 to front board? Because it didn't actually look like he popped out. It looked like he just dragged the board across with him, but beautiful, incredible close control.
Yeah, to ollie out of a 50-50 into another handrail trick is just insane. And there we see scores from Zion getting in second place with falls.
Yeah, that is the big reminder. He's only 2.5 points shy of Danny Leon. And yet he wasn't anywhere near as consistent. So Alex Midler, this kid, in qualifiers, there's 4 skaters on the course at one time, and he was in with Zion Wright, Jamie Foy, and Pedro Barrows. So you can understand why we said that he flew under the radar, but he managed to catch the judge's eye. He just wasn't falling, and he is so tech.
He did so many gnarly rail tricks in the jam during qualifying. Starting off with a nice backside disaster into that frontside ollie over the hip. Ollieing the Twinkies. Perfect innie 360. Wow, this is off to a great start.
And he's flowing, isn't he?
Look at that rail combination. The front feeble into the nose grind. That's the control he showed us in qualifying that got him into second place. That is so gnarly. That backside lip slide popping over in a front board. I can't even explain how difficult that is.
Oh! 270 onto the down.
Skating with a lot of speed and confidence. 15 seconds left. Can he hang on with the overcrook there?
And he's coasting. This is what we're talking about, the under the radar. You look at Pedro's run, how intense and emotional it was, but oh, 2 seconds shy.
Missing the kickflip 50 there. You see him finally catching his breath. That was a lot of skateboarding.
Well, there's a bit of celebrating going on about that run. There's stuff falling off the ceiling here in the commentary booth. So Alex Midler once again playing it casual, but oh so consistent.
One step away from a perfect run, really.
And there's
Flying
a bit of
high.
everything in here. There really is.
Yeah, that huge Innie 360 perfect Smith grind there.
A nod to the classics.
Yeah, Alex is someone that has been skating in contests since he was a little kid and just knows what it takes, man.
Look at that. That's one of the best replays we could have got. The front feeble transfer straight up onto the down rail.
Such control.
And who can do that? Land and set up in the same movement. Like, you've got to know exactly where your feet are as you come down. He's leaving that pop over of the front feeble with the pop up onto the down railing. Oh, I can't get my head around that.
Yeah, that back lip pop over, so difficult.
So no surprises for anyone there. A new leader, Alex Midler, 85.33. Qualified in second place behind this man. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Jagger Eaton.
This is like one of the best contests ever. Course is amazing. Totally back the vibe and just skating, man, having fun.
Well, you saw it there with that frontside flip, the front blunt flip out. He is a wizard. The David Copperfield of skateboarding. Jagger Eaton warming up, just finding his starting position.
Yeah, Jagger Eaton came onto the scene as a mega ramp skater, but has proven he's a street skater as well. Won Tampa Am, as I mentioned, in 2014.
What back three over the hip. Wow, this kid has got it all, hasn't he?
Nice blunt kickflip there. Setting up for a switchback Smith. Wow.
It's difficult to see even the remnants of a mega ramp skater in here, isn't it?
He's really turned heads and proven he can put it together on the streets. Blunt frontside flip by doing things like winning Phoenix Am 2017. Wow, this is a great run. And you know, he's able to use his transition skills when he needs them with the blunt kickflips and stuff. They're just there, sitting there. It's like an arsenal.
His switch repertoire, you said it was unintentional, but his switch repertoire through here is better than a lot of the skaters that we've seen. Dare I say it, Aurélien Giraud, last year's winner.
Wow, and that was a heavy perfect run. Time before the fall.
Oh, and Dave Duncan, the live MC here, has called it already. So your new leader, Jagger Eaton.
That run is going to be really hard to top.
Oh my goodness, the consistency and the lines he's drawn as well. Look at this.
Difficult
backside
transition
270.
tricks.
Blind entry, just knows where that transition is.
The switch front board.
Probably one of the only slight holes. There wasn't fully squared off, was it? But
and then there we go, the blunt kickflip. The switchback Smith. Perfection.
I'd give my eye teeth
lip.
for a back Smith on a curb.
That was an amazing run. Yeah, we saw Jagger barely fall in qualifying, and there we see the scores reflective.
Wow. Okay, so between third and first, there is a bigger gap than there is between fourth and eighth. It's phenomenal. Jagger Eaton nearly 6 points clear, well, 6 points clear of Alex Midler. Danny Leon is 9 points behind Jagger Eaton. So Zion Wright still kind of in the mix there, but that is an incredible standard set by Jagger Eaton. Okay, so confirmation of the standings there. Jagger Eaton is leading, and our course reporter Thule is with him now.
So I have Jagger Eaton with me. Jagger, you are on fire. Tell me, what was going on there? How did you put your lines together?
I mean, honestly, I just went out there and did my thing. You know, I've been practicing this course for quite a while now. I love it. I love the transition. I love the rails. It's just a perfect course. Stoked.
Well, it's amazing. You're only 16 years old. So what can we expect from you in your second run?
On my second run, I'm just going to kind of try and clean up a little bit. You know, I got some tricks I want to do to throw it in, you know, maybe get my score a little higher. You know, doesn't hurt to try some new stuff, so we'll see what happens.
Well, anyways, everyone is absolutely amazed. You did such a good job, and good luck to you in your second run.
Thank you so much, Stoke.
Thank you, Jagger. Thank you, Thule. You heard it there first. That was absolutely
Clean
ridiculous.
it up a little bit. How do you clean that up?
Where are you going to go from now? I can't wait to see what he's thinking about. Let's take a look at some highlights now from the first runs here at Simple Session 2018 Skate Finals. Plenty to chew over, Chris. I mean, we saw glimpses of what was on offer, but we haven't seen... I mean, that for me, I thought he was slamming.
Yeah, me too. I thought we were going to see a really gnarly slam, and here we see Zion, alley-oop nose bone, the overcrook, the 270 lip. Glimpses of the Zion Wright we all know and love in contests.
What's interesting is now watching this by Alex Midler, Zion Wright. Who do you think has got the firepower to take down that Jagger Eaton run?
You know, that's going to be hard to say, and Jagger's going to be hard to beat. That's a really high score, and you heard him say it himself. He's still got more hard tricks. I mean, we saw him do the backflip onto the platform in qualifying. So the fact that Jagger feels he's not even really turned it on yet, so to speak, that's scary. It's going to be hard to beat.
I remember seeing this kid in 2013. He was the youngest. I remember the commentators talking about it then. He was the youngest ever X Games competitor at 11, taking on the mega ramp. And we thought that Jagger, Pedro, they were all going to be in there. It's turned out to be a rail festival. It's time for a quick break now. We'll be back in a second with the second runs. Welcome back to Simple Session 2018. My name is Ed Lee. Sat next to me is one of the most intelligent voices in skateboarding, Chris Pastras.
Thank you, Ed. You're too kind.
Here it is, scores after first run. Jagger Eaton, light years ahead of the rest. Alex Midler, a very consistent run in second. Danny Leon, consistent but not outstanding maybe in third. And then a lot of people who just couldn't lay down the run they wanted. Zion Wright, Jamie Foy, Chase Webb, right down the pack. Uncharacteristically, we had Pedro Barrows. You got Reva Fleming, Ben Garcia, Ivan Federico, Pedro, as we just said, Chris Russell and Vincent Milu. I think we're going to see a lot of moving around.
Yeah, well, I'd say except for Jagger's score is going to be hard to beat with a 91.33. I wouldn't say he's safe, but that's a pretty high score. And like he said in the piece there, the interview, he still feels like he can turn it up. So he's scary to beat. It's going to be really hard to beat Jagger in this contest.
I love the way you've put this one to bed already. It's
no, I'm not putting it to bed, but all I'm saying is Alex has his work cut out for him. Zion's got his work cut out for him.
This is, at the moment, Simple Session Skate Finals, one of the most unique opportunities to see a lot of guys who very rarely compete.
Yeah.
Right now, you've got the big comp heads like Pedro Barrows and Jagger Eaton, but we've also got Chase Webb, Jamie Foy, Zion Wright. Before we get stuck back into second runs, though, we're going to take a quick look now at a preview of the Simple Session Summer Session that's going on in Riga in Latvia this August.
Simple Session. The wildest and most talked about BMX and skate contest out there is back in Riga, Latvia for the second summer. Over the weekend of the 4th and 5th of August 2018, top BMXers and skateboarders from across the world will fire up the brand new Barrow Street Skate Park, the most awesome concrete park in the Baltic States. Enjoy the rich history of the beautiful city of Riga and join in on the madness that is Simple Summer Session. Put it in your calendar and follow all of the news on Simple Session's website, session.ee.
Welcome back. If you can find an excuse to make your way north, east, southwest, wherever you're coming from, to the Baltic states this summer, do it. There is a reason why we have this lineup with us today. It's because they have so much fun when they come up here. Simple Session can coax out anyone for a contest simply because it is so much fun.
Yeah, definitely the biggest international contest kicking off our year here in Simple Session. And here's Vincent Milu from France.
One of my favorite skaters. This guy has such good style. And what we didn't see for me is signature trick, that flip, frontside flip to board slide.
Yeah, the frontside flip to lip slide. One of Vincent's standards there. We see those two kick flips into the front three, landing it.
And he'd already dropped it twice by this stage, so he's on a flow at the moment.
Nice alley-oop air there. And I mentioned it during first runs. Vincent, there's the trick. The kickflip lip slide. Front side, so difficult. And Vincent spent a lot of time in the States this last year with my boy Willie Santos. Getting a lot of coverage, did a Trans World video part.
Oh!
Nice hurricane, hanging on. Perfect run.
Solid second run because, and it wasn't in time, but there was that front blunt, front board transfer.
Great run from Vincent. Placed 4th last year, so trying to crack the top 5 again here at Simple Session 18.
So
great run.
The two Frenchmen from the Atlantic coast propping each other there. This was really solid, though. I was worried that he wasn't going to be able to get over the disappointment of that first run, but he let it go, didn't he?
Yeah, Vincent's got the contest experience. He's been coming out here to Simple Session for years. Placed 7th at Tampa Am this year, and I mean, there's hundreds of skaters in Tampa Am, so if you can get top 10, you know what you're doing. Nice switchback lip there.
Well, it's not that much harder to find your way out of the melee that is Simple Session qualifiers either. It's not an easy task. But Vincent Milu, you can tell how stoked he is, sat in there with Pedro and Jamie Foy.
Yeah, definitely had some difficult rail tricks. The transition tricks weren't as difficult as we saw from some of the other guys at Jagger Eaton's and the Zion Wrights, but definitely a solid showing.
It'll be interesting to see where he moves to score-wise. He's got the consistency, but 87.33. It's good enough for second, just ahead of our Alex Midler.
Wow.
And interestingly, I think this opens it up. I know we thought it was going to be hard to catch Jagger, but Vincent's runs got within 4 points of him there.
There we go.
This could be a very, very strong finish.
Yeah, there's definitely a few guys that can give Jagger a run for his money.
Okay. Reva Fleming, the kid out of Knoxville, currently ranked 8th. He didn't lay anywhere near the run he wanted down in first run, so second run fever. See what he's got.
Oh, the kickflip grab, trying to throw in a late finger flip there. Definitely just rolling the old dice. Beeve flying off the board slide. You know, we talked about it earlier, but Beaver really, he thrives in the jam format. I think he plays off the crowd and the hype, and it's a different animal here in the run format.
He managed to squeeze it all in there, didn't he?
So crazy. Oh, not hanging out in the backflip, but yeah, that was the old kickflip grab, late hand flip. So sick.
So interesting, the backflip seen as one of the easiest crowd pleasers in a lot of other sports, BMX or snowboarding, where you're actually holding on. But in skateboarding, it's one of those tricks, and you don't see it that often. It's
not exactly a popular trick, but it's a difficult trick.
Well, it's not a fashionable one, I think, is the right way to say it. Like,
there you go.
No self-respecting street skater is going to go out and learn backflips. But it's still super hard because you've either got to ollie into it while you're throwing your head back, or you've got to go early grab, which kills your pop.
No, there's only a handful of people that can successfully land a backflip, and Beaver Fleming is one of them.
Yep. Beaver putting this contest down to experience, no doubt. He's been enjoying the delights of Tallinn, though. We touched on it earlier on. This is a contest, but for a lot of these guys, it's about the social as well.
Yeah, it's a cultural exchange, you know. They come out to Europe and hang out with pros from all over the world. They're in the Baltic, you know, area, and somewhere they've never been. It's so exotic.
And it is. I mean, there's a KGB museum here.
Yeah.
This was the first part of the Soviet Union that really opened up to tourism. So you've kind of got KGB background. You've got the German influence, the Scandinavian influence, Eastern Europe. It's an amazing place, and it's all based around this old town where there are some pretty wild bars. So it lends itself to skateboarding and BMX.
Yeah, the guys have been having a good old time with the Tallinn nightlife.
Okay, Benny Garcia, the kid out of Bordeaux in France, had a shocking first run, ended up getting pretty upset, thought someone had got in his way. I think fundamentally it was because the run hadn't gone his way. Let's see if he can make amends.
Nice back D, off to the same start as run number 1 there.
I want to see him flow this section a little bit better.
Ooh, kind of a little bit of a setup there, losing a little time on having to not to drop into that quarter pipe instead of just rolling straight in.
Yeah, we saw Zion Wright, for instance, just flow straight in there at Mach 10, and putting the brakes on to drop in is...
Yeah, you got to have no dead space in your line. No setup tricks either, and we're seeing a couple here from Ben.
Let's see if he starts... Oh! I was about to say, let's see if he can really start switching it on once he gets into the flow of these rails. Certainly this is his domain.
Going for that cab back lip. Oh, not quite pulling it. Yeah, you know, Benjamin shined in the jam format, but it's a different beast here.
There's not a single person on that platform now.
Oh!
Over the nose.
Going for that massive 360 ollie to flat. We call those fatty to flatties.
So he's not letting it go. It's a matter of pride now. Oh!
Contest make, we'll take it. Well after time though, unfortunately not gonna help his scores.
I think in terms of dignity, though, he comes out of this one a lot better than he did his first run.
Yeah, had some solid tricks. So you see that backside tail slide and nice front blunt. Definitely shined a little more on the rails in the transition.
But I think he was found out ever so slightly as an out-and-out street skater. When there was just nothing there with the transitions, really.
Yeah,
you
can't have any dead space in your line here at Simple Session.
Okay, a man who knows a thing or two about dead space. He's one of the most fluid, flowing skaters we've got here. Ivan Federico, the Italian, comes from a background of vert skating, but in park he is an absolute destroyer.
Yeah, Ivan has morphed his skating to fit the development of the park discipline, and he's really, really shined the last couple years in park terrain contests, where we see that backside boneless on the massive wall.
That's how you want your bonelesses to look, isn't it? Almost like you've just stalled it for a second, not too long.
Smooth 360 there. Oh, the kickflip body jar. It's a signature move.
If he picks up fast now, he might not lose too much. But
yeah, Ivan has struggled a little bit with progression of tricks. We've seen, the kickflip body jar and the 540 on the quarter pipes. The last couple years, it's kind of had the same couple go-to moves.
But that's the law of diminishing returns, isn't it? You bring something like that in and it works so hard for you for a couple of years. And it's not that anyone's getting lazy, but those are your stock tricks that you bring in and then they suddenly start to lose value.
And people start to expect you to land them every time.
So Ivan restarting this run, resetting through the rail section. But
yeah, not exactly the run that I know Ivan's going to be happy with.
He set a high bar for himself in 2016 when he really cemented his international reputation.
Yeah, it's placed first in Vancouver 2016, second in Brazil, third in Malmo, Vans Park Series, and set the bar so high for himself, like you said.
That was the perfect timing on that backside boneless, where he just touched it down for a second. Didn't hold it too long, didn't need to set himself up.
Nice Smith grind there. Yeah, Ivan really turned park skating on its ear in 2016, and then like I mentioned, people got kind of used to his go-to tricks, which seemed really difficult in 2016, but not so difficult in 2017. Got to go back to the drawing board a little bit for 2018.
There you have it, the leaderboard right now. Jagger Eaton, first run, still stands. Vincent Milu of France caught up with his second run at 87.33. Everyone else still to drop out of those top six. This man is one of them. Currently sat in fourth position. Dali Leon, really consistent first run. He's got a really strong platform now to lay the run he wants down, hasn't he?
Yeah, he had one of our only perfect runs, and now the question is, how does he turn it up? Because obviously he gave it his all and it wasn't enough, so what's he got left in the bag to get to the top of the placings here from fourth place? Off to a great start.
But he didn't have to slow it down for that overcrook, did he? He just came blasting through there.
Added in that kickflip stale.
Doubling up on that run through the rails, really starting to crank the point measure up.
Nice solid tail slide, keeping his speed into the feeble grind.
It's not as technical as Jagger Eaton, but certainly like the rapid fire trick count that we're seeing here is huge. It's above Vincent Milu at the moment for me, and Vincent's only 4 points behind Jagger.
Massive, massive kickflip grab there. Very similar to his first run. He added the kickflip stale, but...
Oh! Was the 360 flip on the flat counted?
I'd say that was right at time.
Mark Brewster on the live mic here with Dave Duncan's calling it a flawless run. So we'll see what the judges think.
It's a great run. It's a great run. There we see the front blunt Massive method tweaker there from Danny Leon. Into the huge laid out stale fish. Nice nose grind, proving he's got some street skills. Then adding that kickflip stale fish, a level of difficulty we didn't see in the first run. Massive lean judo there over the hip.
Our judges are an esteemed panel: Dan Cates, Patel Nitaro, Pat Duffy, Vitaly Kotorov, and Kirill Kobratov. They're all deciding now whether or not Danny Leon is in the top. Our course reporter Tuli is with Danny now, though.
So I have Danny Leon with me here. Danny, you are fourth going into your run. Do you think it's enough to get on the podium?
I don't know. I'm happy with what I did. I would like, but if not, I'm happy. Watching my friends skating, so much fun this weekend. So it's like now simple season is tradition.
I mean, you did great. You're injured. You showed me your stitches before. How does that affect your run?
Well, I feel scary a little bit for my hand. Like I don't want to slam and get hard again. But I come to Estonia for a skate, so I don't feel fear.
So the judges said that both of your runs were quite similar. Do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, it was similar line, but I tried to change some tricks on the line. I didn't know in that moment what to do, but I tried. So, I don't know.
So we're going to have the scores in any second now. Are you excited?
Yeah.
So let's wait.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Danny. And I mean, good luck to you. I hope your hand gets better, and I'll see you next year.
Thank you, for sure.
So thank you, Tuli. Thank you, Danny. 84.66 for Danny Leon. It's an improvement, but it doesn't bump him up. Alex Midler is currently in third, just above him on 85.33. So Danny Leon added a little bit, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, he added the kickflip stale, but I think he would have needed to add in one more really, really difficult trick. And still an impressive showing with fourth place.
Oh, this is a man who, I think we had 3 little bails in the first run, and he's sat in 6th place on 76. So a solid run from Jamie Foy. This could be a huge score.
Yeah, you know, Jamie came out here with his roommate Zion, and I know he wants to turn it up and improve that first run score. Nice alley-oop set slide there.
So the clock started off the set slide. He bangs a backsmith.
Yeah, it's the same start we saw in run number 1. Oh, not quite getting the 1 foot off. But staying on his board. There's the front blunt.
He's so tight, isn't he?
The signature front feeble, the crooked grind of fakie. It's a great run so far.
You almost get the impression that he could do with stuff a little bit bigger, don't you?
Oh yeah, these rails are tiny for Jamie Foy. Nice front blunt.
Popped
2017 Thrasher Skater of the Year. Wow, front crooked grind pop over.
You got to say, Skater of the Year is essentially the Oscars of skateboarding.
Oh yeah, it's the big. You've made it. Oh! Wow, 50-50 sex change, grind and fakie, 180ing out. That was insane.
Wow, what a run. What a run. A little bit of, again, I've used the term before, but his lip service with that backside Smith on the big taco up the back there. But
that was a great run. Yeah, wow.
That was huge. A lot of really, really big stuff in here. This is where the clock started on that alley-oop set slide.
There we see the smooth backside Smith grind for the cameras. Massive air. Into the frontside air on the big quarter, hanging on.
Yeah, he certainly didn't give the use of course, anyone judging use of course, any excuses, did he? He made his way round.
Even adding in the front blunt where he could have just done a rock and roll or an axle stall. Then we see that super difficult sex change 50-50. So sick. It's hard to even fathom how difficult that is, jumping around 180 on a rail like that, on an A-frame rail.
And not upsetting the board at all.
So
letting
crazy.
the board carry on its trajectory.
placed 7th yesterday in qualifying. Currently sitting in 6th, so let's see where this score.
Nervous wait for Jamie Foy.
I think he's going to improve on his score from last run.
So the 21-year-old out of Deerfield Beach who moved to Long Beach in California to live with Alex Sorgente and Zion Wright, really, over the last 18 months has launched himself onto the skate world at large, and it was recognized with the award of the Thrasher Skater of the Year trophy.
Yeah, and it's so cool to see him and Zion are roommates and just feed off each other. The progression that those guys are seeing right now, and we're even seeing it with transition skating. They traditionally were street guys, but they're just feeding off each other, skating everything, skating bowls, skating big transitions, and just getting better and better by the day.
Well, you talked about it. It's that simmering cauldron of talent that they've got there. They're just pushing each other constantly.
Yeah, and you throw in Alex Sorgente into the mix, living with those guys as well. It's like the talent in that apartment is insane.
Well, you always know when it takes this long to come up with the score, there is a big debate going on amongst the judges. You can see the old British skater, Dave Duncan, and Mark Brewster there in the red check shirt, just on the corner of the screen.
That's a challenging run to score, man.
Well, there's a big discussion to be had, isn't there? Where does that sit against Jagger Eaton? Personally, I'm going to subscribe to your theory at the moment. I don't think it was better than Jagger's run.
It's hard to say. I mean, that 50-50, to sex change was, that difficulty is so high, it's really hard to say. I'm glad I'm not a judge, but
he almost made it look too easy, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's always the danger when you have that much talent. You start throwing stuff like that out at the end of a run. Like there you can see him.
I'm going to claim that I think he's in second place, but again, we're not judges.
Okay, well, let's give you a recap. If he gets anything more than 91.33, he's in first place. Anything less than that, and it will be second up to 87.33, which is Vincent Milu's score at the moment. So 86.66 is third place for Jamie Foy right now.
Nice.
So,
definitely
interesting.
Respectable.
Vincent Milu's score really standing the test of time there against Jamie Foy.
Okay. Yeah, Vincent had some really tech, rail tricks like the kickflip lip slide.
Okay, Chris Russell, we saw a glimpse of what he's capable of in run one, but he really has got it all. He's just an all-terrain destroyer.
Yeah, Chris Russell just skates on the edge of death, just totally unabashed, unadulterated, just going for it all the time.
The bigger, the tighter, the harder, the scarier. That's the way Chris Russell likes it. He's just looking for the biggest chunks of this course, and he's going to attack them.
Chris Russell is in, going for the massive vert wall here. Oh! Frontside air at the lip. Wow.
The picture's distorting. He's going so fast and big.
He's like a bulldozer.
He is just skates so fast. Wow. Ollie revert there.
Slowing down just a little bit. Oh!
Smith to front rock. What's he got? He's got 30 seconds. Huge, fast backside disaster. Chris known for not hesitating on disaster tricks.
And he's linking this run beautifully. I feel like he hasn't got held up in any of the areas.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to have one critique, he hasn't hit any of the rails yet, but still a great, solid run.
He's bunking through the rails, isn't he? Almost.
Nice kickflip. Yeah, using the transitions well, but avoiding the street obstacles. So we'll see if that reflects in his scores.
It's interesting, isn't it? I hadn't thought about it, but he highlighted the fact that he hadn't hit them by passing them 3 times. kind of glaring omissions there. He had a bit of time, and especially when you compare it to Milu or Chase Webb.
Yeah, when you think about how many tricks Jagger, you mentioned Chase, Vincent packed into their runs. Wow!
The
out
tail was
over the
clear.
lip. Amazing. They were spectacular tricks, but there just wasn't a ton of them.
And that's the difficult weight that the judges have to pick now. Love that. Cheeky little combo.
Nice backside disaster. Ending things off with that frontside flip.
I don't think he was too happy with the frontside flip. Do you think there maybe wasn't the pop left after
the pop
a minute
he wanted,
of
but
shredding?
hey, it's a make.
It's the end of a minute-long run.
That was still an amazing run. That frontside air alone is worth the price of admission.
Oh, and I tell you what it does, it's an accelerator. Because you know for a fact that Chase and Pedro are watching this. 79-3-3, and the scores up at the top are starting to look very big and very tight now. Really respectable score for Chris Russell there. But the momentum's building, you can feel it, can't you, Chris?
Oh, yeah, and Pedro feeds off Chris Russell, so I'm sure watching that run really got him hyped.
Infuriatingly, the concrete destroyer, the Brazilian Pedro Barrows, is almost as good on a surfboard as he is on a skateboard.
Yeah, definitely come from the surf skate culture of Florianopolis, Brazil. Has won Vans Park Series in Brazil 2016 and 2017. There's the backside boneless. Yeah, Pedro.
An ollie out to flat off the sushi bowl.
All right, 30 seconds left. Can he turn it up to match the intensity of that start?
Do you think he was looking at the rail then?
Level. I think he was sizing it up. Yeah, a little hesitation there. Falling off on that Smith grind attempt.
So, are the rails the undoing of the Brazilian? Yes, I think they might be.
Yeah, Pedro capable of ripping the streets, but definitely not his forte. Insane bowl ripper.
There was a moment there when he was on his first pass to the rails where I think he hesitated. And I think that might have been what put him off his stride.
Well, he goes so big and fast, it's like, how do you slow down for a handrail?
And the flowing up to this point is just beautiful.
Yeah, that's the challenge of this contest, isn't it? You have to be able to go big on the transitions and then compose yourself to hit some handrail tricks and have them be technical.
That was beautiful, that angle from the sushi bowl to backside boneless. It gave you a scale of just how much distance he was traveling.
Yeah, that was a proper backside boneless. So sick. Definitely the highlight reel for Pedro Barrows and Chris Russell there. Some of the more exciting skateboarding we've seen all weekend.
Okay. So score for Pedro Barrows, second run, 71.66. Good enough for ninth. So evidence there that it's not all about the transitions and the bowls here. Despite the size of this course, street has played its part in this contest. 4 riders left to drop. One of them is already leading, so 3 people who can topple Jagger Eaton. First of those is this man, Chase Webb.
Chase definitely has what it takes.
Rare treat to see him in contest.
Massive in the air there. Feeble grind pop over.
Coming up the top to build.
Yeah, he's got to pick up some difficulty fast here.
Beautiful. The only one of our finalists making it through there with speed.
Frontside 180, switch 50.
Yeah, that was a fakey rock last time.
Oh, there's the big spin front board. He missed on his first run.
And it's a staple of his repertoire.
Gotta stay on here. Oh! Missing the truck on the front feeble, but he hung on.
Yeah, he got every little bit of his get out of jail free card cashed in then, didn't he?
going for this 50-50 front board, makes it. Wow, perfect run from Chase Webb.
So time has gone. Oh, the backsmith to finish, but it won't count.
Yeah, that was after time. That was a perfect 1 minute run.
Wow, wow, wow. If you're a judge right now, you need to get your paracetamol out because it's headache time. This is where the scrutiny comes in as well.
Yeah, nice feeble grind pop over the front 180, fakey 50-50. Nice big spin front board.
And he snapped that out. You barely saw it from that angle, did you?
And then we see he missed that truck on that front feeble, but made it work. And that, so difficult, the front 50-50, ollieing out of that, the front board.
Okay, so Chase Webb waiting for his score. I feel like we could be looking at, I think we're looking at a top 5 score here. It's just whether it's a podium or not.
Yeah, there was a little more dead space in the line than we saw with Jagger Eaton. So I don't think he packed quite enough tricks in to crack first, but definitely I'm back in that, top 5.
Well, you can see the judges in the background there. Vitaly Kotov, Kirill Korobkov, Dan Cates, Patel Netaro.
There we see the score for Chase.
80.33. Well, I was wrong. It's not quite good enough for top 5. It is 6th position, just behind Danny Leon. So, the standard set at the top of this pile is quite something.
Yeah, I think that shows that you got to pack a ton of tricks in your line. You can't have any dead space, and there was just a little bit of dead space in Chase's line.
So next in, Zion Wright. If anyone can overhaul the top 3, it's this man. Currently sat in 8th with the 78, but he was missing a lot of tricks on the first run. It should give you an indication to just what he's capable of.
Yeah, with multiple falls, the fact that he's still sitting at the top of the heap. Yeah, he placed, well, not the top of the heap, but he had a 78 with multiple falls, so that just shows you what he's capable of.
Okay, here comes the speed build. First trick starts the clock.
Oh, going for the 540! Wow!
Yes, you just saw a street skater throw a 5. What?
The alley-oop nose bone.
And that was almost to the flats.
Wow, into the crooked grind, over crook. This is a great, great start from Zion Wright into the front blood.
Well, he's about to start attacking the rails. Oh!
270 lip. Zion knows what it takes to win a contest.
This kid has the consistency of day
old.
No, commentator's curse. I was about to say he's got the consistency of day old porridge. He's so sticky he's not coming off the board, but there it was. I let him go with 10 seconds to go. Come on.
Wow!
What?
Front feeble, ollieing out to front board. That was one of the most difficult things we've seen all weekend.
Even with that fall, I think this could be a big one.
That was huge. Wow.
Cracked it, as he said, with his body language at the end there.
That was amazing.
For me, the weight of the transition and rail mix there, to throw a 5 and to mix it up with that rail repertoire, I think it's top spot. Look at this, the way he brings this in. It's almost to the second transition on the black section.
Yeah, that was just an insane 540, hanging on.
Like he said, it was almost like he found that second area of the transition through there. That was ridiculous.
Front feeble, pop over to front board. One of the most difficult things we've seen all weekend there.
What's interesting about that was the lack of speed he had, so it was all balance. He wasn't getting helped at all.
Backflip off the quarter pipe. The gymnast.
To Hong Kong Kung Fu kick. Oh, wow. So we can go down there now. Thule is with Zion Wright.
Zion Wright, you are flying over this course. Walk us through this. What happened there?
Oh,
I was trying 540 earlier, and Pedro was like kind of telling me how to do it, so I was like, listen to him that goes, like, do it. So did it, tried to hang on, but I don't know. I'm out here in Estonia. It was my birthday yesterday. I'm with all the boys having fun, so thank you guys for having me.
Well, happy birthday. I know you're having a good time because all your best buddies are here. So tell me about that.
Well, yeah, just like all the boys, we get to travel all around the world, hang out, and yeah, skate and have fun. So.
Well, thank you so much. You did such a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Thule. So, an incredible performance from Zion Wright. And the score has come in 88.33.
Wow, jumps him into second place.
Wow. Phenomenal performance there from Zion Wright. Incredible run, and that is so well deserved. But you've got to say, it gives, I think, Jagger Eaton, well, he knows he's made top 3 now. We've only got Alex Midler to go. So Jagger Eaton is guaranteed first or second place. It's a big ask for Alex Midler for me, and I think you called it maybe at the beginning. I'm willing to concede a little bit now that Jagger Eaton has set the pace for Simple Session Skate Finals 2018.
Yeah, Jagger just, you know, he doesn't fall on this course, man. He's just skated perfect all weekend long. But one guy who's got the capabilities of taking him out is Alex Midler, and he's in. Starting off with that smooth backside disaster.
He maybe doesn't have the showmanship that we've seen out of Jagger Eaton, but he's certainly got the consistency.
Yeah, and he's got some really, really difficult rail tricks, like that front feeble pop over into that nose grind. Such a good line there. Nice front blunt. Oh!
And that's the linchpin to the run, isn't it?
Yeah. That backlip pop over, missing that. We saw him make that every single time.
Oh! Is that... Yeah, I wasn't sure if he's going 50-50 there.
I think he was going for the kickflip 50-50, missing that in the first and second run.
Hopefully we get another bite of this now. Oh! 270 nose blunt.
I think that's what he was going for.
I mean, it gets thrown out by every contest MC and commentator every time, but that is Tony Hawk, like pro skater right there.
Yeah.
Like we've finally arrived.
The skill of these guys at the top of the pack there with Jagger, Zion, Vincent, Jamie, Midler. It's just insane.
It's what our generation talked about. Well, if people play this computer game, they're going to end up skating like it. And sure enough, here we are, 15 years on, and kids skate like they're playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
That nose grind into that frontside blunt there. Got off to a great start.
So, second run score 73.33. Alex Midler will rest on his first run score in 5th place. But what it means is this man, Jagger Eaton, is about to take a lap of honor.
Victory lap here from Jagger Eaton. Wow.
Look at this, just floating.
There we see the backflip. Doing it for the love, as he's already won the contest here at Simple Session 2018.
What?
Wow, switch nose grind, just throwing it in there. Jagger has been able to mix super difficult transition tricks like that kickflip out of that blunt with switchback lips and super difficult rail tricks all weekend long. And then he's dominated.
And it's the casual throwaways, like like the front one into the transition. It's mind-blowing. We're looking at the future, ladies and gentlemen.
Did a kickflip 180 nose grind into a front blunt kickflip out, into a big spin front board. Oh my gosh. This dude. Talk about video game skating.
Oh.
Switch back 5-0. Wow, I'm happy for this kid, man.
Well, the thing is, if maybe he'd come out and that run had been second, for me, he's proved 2 runs beyond a shadow of a doubt that he's the best skater in the room today.
He's barely stepped off his skateboard all weekend long. I mean, skated so consistently in qualifying for 4 minutes, and then put together 2 perfect runs.
Well, he's just 16 years old, but he skated like a man here. That is truly phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, Jagger's the future. He really is what Simple Session's all about, being able to flow and do park skating, and then able to throw in super, super difficult street tricks, and he's got it all. Switchback lip there.
That one, it's almost shifted out, isn't it? Like he leaves
Front
it and then
kick flip out, so perfect. Wow.
Truly, truly breathtaking work from the young 16-year-old. We're going to throw down now to Thule, who's got Jagger Eaton with her.
Jagger Eaton, congratulations, amazing job. Tell all of us, what happened there? Like, walk us through your run.
I mean, honestly, I just did this thing I've been doing the whole time. You know, I just like thought about like I was just skating the course by myself, and turned out I just was. You know, it's a good day. Very stoked to be out here. Very fortunate to be out in a great country like Estonia, and just thank everybody for coming out. The crowd was amazing, and stoked to be out here.
So, is there any certain part of the course that you especially like? Like, did you plan anything ahead?
Yeah, I mean, I had some like tricks I want to do ahead, but I mean, when it comes together, it really comes together right at the end. You know, when you really want to do the whole 60-second run and like make sure you have that mentally prepared. You know, it's kind of all comes together, and I'm stoked for it to come together today.
So we have one of the best lineups in skateboarding we've ever had at Simple Session. Seriously, how must it feel to win in front of all these competitors?
I mean, it feels great. You know, I never thought about like winning over everybody. I mean, I feel like everybody wins. You know, coming out of this contest, coming out to a country like Estonia, and just being out here and having fun and like being with everybody, like all your best friends. You know, we're all great homies, and we all just come out here and have fun and skate, and that's what it's all about. So I mean, I wouldn't say I won over everybody, but I would say everybody had fun, and I was stoked to come out on top.
So our host called you the future of skateboarding. I mean, you are 16, you are the youngest competitor here. Tell us about your practice routine. How do you train to be so good?
I don't know, I eat Mickey D's, and I just skate. You know, I never thought about it like, I don't know, I never thought about it like that. You know, Red Bull's really supported me all the way through, and you know, they helped me be the best athlete I can be. And I'm just fortunate to be out here with them and, you know, to skate. I'm stoked. I'm really just fortunate.
Well, congratulations once again. What a spectacular riding, both of the 2 runs.
Thank you so much. Stoked.
Thank you, Thule. A lot of insight there from Jagger Eaton, but check out those scores. 93 for that second run. It beat his first run score. Second place, the second run from Wright. Truly breathtaking. Vincent Milu, the Frenchman. Personally, I'm super stoked to see that result. One of my favourite skaters, Jamie Foy, Thrasher Skater of the Year in 4th. Alex Midler in 5th, Danny Leon in 6th. Chase Webb, 7th. Chris Russell. It's not really about the score with him, is it? He just laid on a show.
So big. That frontside air alone was worth the price of admission.
Pedro Barrows in 9th, Reva Fleming 10th, Benny Garcia in 11th, and Ivan Federico in 12th. Chris, an epic final here in Tallinn.
So crazy. I think we've just seen the future of skateboarding in those runs from Jagger Eaton. The perfect combination of transition skill and vert skill combined with super difficult street skating skill, and Jagger Eaton just put it all together.
It's an
super difficult on both levels, on both sides of the spectrum.
It's an interesting idea, isn't it, that a kid who starts out in mega ramp skating can pull it down, and it's maybe less intimidating skating this kind of terrain once you've been over a mega ramp.
Yeah, and he's been able to spend enough time on the streets to really add some level of difficulty to his street skating and do all those switch handrail tricks, and that was the difference maker. We expect gnarly transition tricks from him, but we don't necessarily expect all those gnarly rail tricks. So, great job from Jagger Eaton.
You can see here a couple of the best highlights from this 12-man final. Danny Leon with that incredible method out of his first run into the stalefish. Added a kickflip stalefish to that in the second run. There it is. Ask and you shall receive. And there was that incredible 540 from Wright. We're going for a quick break now. We'll be back with the analysis afterwards.
Jagger's already here.
Yeah, if you can come down, guys.
I'm ready right now. Danny Leon, where are you at? From Spain in 6th position. Come on down, Danny. I see him up there. In 5th, and Alex Midler. Where's Alex at? Come on out, Alex. And also stoked to see Jamie Foy getting the top for this one.
Jamie Foy is so sick. That ending combo was absolutely ridiculous. Sex change, and then a half come out.
Jimmy Foy qualified. So Danny Leon, please come out.
Danny Leon always got a smile on his face.
Third place last year at Simple Session. Make some noise. 6th place, Danny Leon from Spain.
Let's hear it.
Number 5, Alex Midler from USA. Alex Midler, where you at? Come on down, Alex.
Where's Alex?
Here he comes. Tough break for Alex Midler. Alex, please come on down. He was in the number 2 position yesterday for qualifying. Started out in number 2 after round 1. And then everybody else had some crazy runs. Jamie, Vincent, Zion all took out. Look at this, he's throwing a board out. Somebody gets a free board.
Board to the face.
Estonia, let's hear it for Alex Midler with a great weekend out here. Congratulations, Alex. Let's hear it for Alex Midler. Jamie Foy, where are you at? Come on down, buddy. Thrasher, Skater of the Year, qualified 7th place yesterday. Got some great runs to get up in 4th to finish it off. Oh! Yeah, Jamie, keeping it loose. He's been having a blast in Estonia, said he loves it over here. You guys want to see him back next year? Make some noise for Jamie Foy.
4th place, so good. Crazy combos.
Got some free stuff, Jamie.
Have a hug from a beautiful girl as well.
Let's bring up Vincent Milu, 3rd place. Congratulations, Vincent.
Also,
this guy right here.
Welcome back. What a final we've just witnessed here at Simple Session 2018. Chris, you got your breath back?
Man, I think we just saw the future of skateboarding with Jagger Eaton. You know, we've seen the emergence of the park discipline in the last few years, and a guy like Jagger Eaton just embodies what that's all about. Being able to combine elements of vert skateboarding and big transitions with super, super difficult street and rail tricks, and that was what Jagger Eaton was able to do here today.
We talked a lot about the evolving types of courses we've seen here and the fact that park skating has become probably one of the big center points, and I thought we were going to see a lot more transition because of that, but actually we started to see a lot of different variations. Like the street course was used massively alongside the transition.
That was the difference maker. You couldn't just skate the transition and crack our top 3.
Okay, we're going to throw down now and take a look at the prize giving. Let's see our top 3. So, in 3rd place, you can see Vincent Milu on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, Zion Wright. But in 1st place, we've spent the day talking about him, just 16 years old. This kid is the real deal. He dealt with all of the pressure, and he came through with 2 incredible runs.
Yeah, you know, Jagger was just out here skating, keeping his head down, having a good time, skated non-stop in practice, barely fell in a 4-minute qualifier, and then put together 2 amazing runs.
You've got to say, once the pressure comes off for that 2nd run, he can really start to enjoy himself, and that's potentially why he scored a 93 above that 91.33.
Yeah, he said it himself in his interview with Thule. I'm going to step it up. I can do more. And he did just that. Amazing.
Okay, well, there you go. Jagger Eaton, I was asked earlier on what the likelihood of him winning was because they were contemplating whether or not they'd have to buy non-alcoholic champagne. So some fizzy apple juice for Jagger Eaton, Zion Wright and Vincent Milu, both old enough to drink in this country. So.
Yeah, and hey, I got to call out 2 of my top 3 predictions were there. I predicted Zion and Jagger.
I can't say that I predicted a podium for Vincent Milu, but I'm a massive fan of his.
Me too. Such a rad skater, great style.
We're going to do
I love his skating. So the boys will smell of victory, stale champagne.
Such an amazing, amazing contest. And, you know, I said it already, but these guys are really embodying the future of skateboarding with this park terrain, combinations of street, combinations of big transitions. Zion Wright did a massive 540. It's insane.
Where on earth did he find that? He's a street kid. He had no business being A, that high up in a transition, and B,
spinning 540. Yeah, it's like, Zion, what do you think? You're Tony Hawk? What are you doing? There's no handrail there.
Well, it's back into that realm that we talked about. Computer games are becoming reality. Where do we draw the line?
Yeah, well, you know, those guys are really honing in on the park terrain. It's got the Vans Park Series now, so they're really training on transition. They're feeding off each other. You got Jamie Foy living with Sorgente and also Zion. So those guys are just bouncing off each other and learning tricks like 540s.
They're giving each other each of their specialities. Well, we've talked about it extensively, but we're going to take a look now at Jagger Eaton's winning run. It is a thing of beauty. Chris, talk us through it.
Yeah, rolling into that massive ollie, kind of a setup trick for Jagger for that backflip. Who does a backflip in a run? Unless you're Reva Fleming.
This was one of my favorites.
That front side 180 ollie in, so difficult, into the switch nose grind.
Just beautiful, and now it starts to get technical. He's done the transition, lays down the blunt, flip in.
Yeah, right into the switch back lip. And there was no dead space in Jagger's lines. He just went banger, banger, banger. There we see the kickflip backside 180 nose grind. So insane.
He didn't overpack that rail line, did he? He wasn't trying to get 2 hits per run, but he's laying down decent tricks at each end.
The blunt kickflip out into the big spin front board. That is just such a gnarly, difficult combination of tricks.
I mean, where do you think he's skating at in terms of his top level? Like, is this 100% of his capability, or are we seeing him well within himself still?
You look at how lanky Jagger is, he's just growing into himself and his body, man. This is just the beginning. He's 16 years old. It's going to be a fun ride.
Well, it's a name you better get used to hearing. Jagger Eaton, just 16 years old. He takes his maiden victory here at Simple Session Skate Finals in 2018. But I promise you, it will be the first of many. We're coming towards the end of Skate Finals now, but if you like anything you've seen, then you can use the Red Bull Analyzer if you're watching online. So you can see it on your screen now. Just go down to the left-hand side. You can click on any of the finalists you want. Pick out a name, you can find their run, and then you can watch it on demand using any of their functions, or if you want, you can share it on social media. Send it to your gran. I'm sure she'd love to see that lazy ollie that Jagger laid down over the first jump box. That was a thing of beauty, wasn't it? So many people trying to pack a trick in there. He literally just floated across.
Yeah, Jagger's got great style, man. So proud of him. Just laid it down. Like I said earlier, perfect combination of street and big transition, super technical tricks. I think that's the future of skateboarding right there.
Okay, as you can see behind us, the skating is anything but done right now. Best trick is about to go down. You can watch it all on Facebook, Red Bull's page, and it's on VR, hosted by James Trelfall. Get over there now if you want to see the madness of Best Trick unfold. Don't forget as well, Simple Session is not done. We have BMX Street and BMX Park coming up. From Chris Pastras and myself here in Tallinn, we're going to say goodbye for now. Thank you for watching.
simple sesh. You guys enjoying this? Oh, Jamie almost blew that one.
Big spin fumble. Jagger boy there.